We are back for Season 4 with Reading, and this season we have to be getting promotion. That has to be the goal. Obviously, it's been the goal for the last 2 seasons, technically, but this season we really do need to get up into the Premier League, and to do so, we've done a fair bit of business over the summer. We've sold a lot of players, we've brought in a fair amount of players, and not really spent a lot of money either. Something that technically happened last season, Jairo Riedveld has left. He's gone to Charlotte FC for £2.3 million. It's why you didn't see him in the last episode of Season 3, because he moved on basically in about April time. Tom Holmes has made the jump over to Bolton for £1 million. We didn't really need him. We kind of ran out of central defender positions. Tom Holmes was one of those to get sacrificed. For £240,000, we have moved David Turnbull on. He wasn't playing for us, was he? And he's moved back up to his native Scotland. Hopefully he'll get some game time there, because he kind of needs it. For £1.9 million, we have sold Zach Schwab, a player who I wasn't quite sure why I brought him in, and then Saints wanted to buy him, and they've paid stupid money for him, so I kind of just broke their arm off when they offered that. And finally, this one hurt, but it was done with basically trying to keep the club afloat in mind. For £10 million, Nathan Ferguson has moved over to Al Fatah in, I'm assuming, Saudi Arabia. He has gone to Saudi Arabia. I think it's potentially, 8 to 10 million. It's going to go up to £10 million. We played him, obviously, a lot over the last 2 years, but we do have a very good replacement. And that is Brooke Norton-Cuffy, formerly of Arsenal, formerly of Millwall, Oxford, Peterborough, Coventry. He's been out on loan a lot. He got released, his contract expired. We've picked him up. He's getting paid too much money, if I'm perfectly honest, but the versatility of Norton-Cuffy, I think, is going to come in very handy, and obviously he's going to be our number 1 right back for the season. We've also brought in a man called Lewis Warrington from Everton, 23 years of age. He's a central midfielder by trade, and we're training him up to be a right winger, because we've got too many central midfielders. We've brought in a new goalkeeper in the shape of Mirko Pigliacelli from Palermo, played 131 times for them. He's also had a fair amount of time playing over in Romania as well, which is a bit strange, but fair enough. 33, obviously he's on the latter stages of his career, but he can do a job for us. He's not going to be playing every game. Sticking with Italy, we have brought in Fredrik Nilsson, 21-year-old Swedish under-21 international from AC Milan. I think this is a good signing. This is another one of the reasons why we sold Tom Holmes, because we've got this guy in. He's getting paid half, maybe even a quarter of the amount of money that Holmes was getting paid as well. So I think financially, this is a sensible bit of business. Also, he's a model citizen, if that means something to anybody out there. Another central midfielder to join is Freddie Potts, formerly of West Ham and VVV Venlo, and a bit of Wickham on loan by the looks of it, on a free transfer. Brought him in because he's a defence midfielder. Basically, that's why he's here. We've also loaned in Josh Wilson-Esbrand from Manchester City until the end of the season. We needed a bit more depth at left-back, and actually, he's going to be our number 1 left-back for the season, I think. Another central defender to join is Nahuel Ferraresi. Ferraresi. You're going to go with Ferraresi. Formerly of MC Talk in Uruguay. MC Talk, I believe, are the feeder club, or one of the many feeder clubs to Manchester City, so they obviously have some very good players. He's come in on a free transfer. I think he's going to be very good for us. Somebody else who I think is going to be very, very good for us is Liam Delap. We have not loaned in a striker this season. Instead, we have brought in 2 strikers, one of them long-term, which is the Liam Delap deal, and one of them slightly more short-term that we'll get to in just a second. But Liam Delap, obviously formerly of Man City, spent some time out on loan at Birmingham, Hull, not really scored a huge amount of goals anywhere, until he's come to Reading, and he's got 7 in 7 so far. It's Danny Ings. We brought in Danny Ings at 34 years of age. Yes, he's probably over it now, but Danny Ings is very good. He's still very good. Him and Liam Delap up front, I think, is going to be a very, very good partnership. He's already got 3 goals in 5 starts and an assist to his name as well. Only getting paid £4,000 a week. He is a coach. He's not a good coach, but he is in as a coach because that's what he really wanted to do. He wanted to be a coach, so we thought, you know what, let's get him in for a season as a player. Then he can do the whole coaching stuff, and maybe by the end of the season 4, he's actually going to be a half-decent coach as well. I'm not expecting much, though. We have also brought in 2 ridiculously good youngsters. Carlos Peña is the first one. He is a Colombian signed from Estrellas de Trianalta. Basically, over Christmas, I went scouting, and I went to the depths of the earth to find some players, and Carlos Peña is one of them, 18 years of age, left back and left winger. He's a left winger to me. He's worth £12.5 million. Just to put it into context, he was free. We brought him in for absolutely nothing, so I think he might play pretty much every game this season. If we can get away with it, we might play him a lot, although Stevenage want him on loan. Do we just loan him out for a year? We have also brought in Abdulhamid Mansouri, who is an 18-year-old Algerian striker from Academy JMG Paradou, a club that you really should be looking at if you want to buy players from Africa, from Algeria. They are very, very good. They always seem to produce some half-decent players, and he obviously, I'm hoping, is an example of that. And much like Pena, his current value is 10 million to 14.5 million pounds. So there's something there. The game thinks there's something there. He's probably going to be playing a lot of football this season, rotating with Delap and Ings. So that is our transfer business. We have sold 11.25 million. Actually, I think we've sold a little bit more than 11.25 million pounds. We've sold Pepra as well. He's left for 1.1 million pounds. We've sold. We've loaned out a lot of players space. You can see there, Achampong, Bonzwell, Leai. We loaned out Basil Tumor again, which might have been a mistake. Aaron White, Dewar, Coke Miles Smith, which is too many hyphenations there, mate. Joe Barra's gone to Shrewsbury. Kelvin has gone out on loan to Fleetwood. That is one of the reasons why we actually brought in Danny Ings, because I was planning on loaning him out because I think he needs more football. We've loaned out loads and loads of players, which is always good to see. And I don't normally show this, but we also have released Femi Aziz and Louis Holtzman. Aziz was too expensive for us. He didn't really do what we needed him to do anymore. Wasn't really playing, so we kind of just let his contract expire. He's landed on his feet at Grimsby. And so far this season, well, things have gone not great, let's be honest. We are currently 11th place in the table. We started off ridiculously well with a 4-0 win, and then we get knocked out of the Carabao Cup. We draw 0-0, we draw 2-2, we beat Millwall 4-0, so when we win 4-0, and when we don't win, we normally draw. We lost against Bristol City 3-2, we draw with Hull, and we draw with Swansea 3-3. So we've scored a lot of goals. Problem is, we've drawn 4 of our 7 games so far. But obviously, early days, still just 3 points away from actually being in the playoffs. Match number 1 of the episode then is going to be away from home against Blackburn Rovers. This is our starting 11. Boyce Clark will be our number 1 goalkeeper for the season, so he stays in goal. Abrefa, he's coming in because Norton Cuffey is currently slightly injured, so Abrefa's going to be playing, but he's still pretty decent. Mepham House and Wilson Esbrand round off the defence. Offerborough and Kozlov's in midfield today. Hamilton is still there, but we played a match like 3 days ago, so there's a little bit of rotation going on for fitness. Banks and Carlos Pena on the wings. Pena will be making his debut today because Onyedinma is a little bit tired. Danny Ings and Leon Delap leading the lines for this one. I'm tempted to do that. Do we do Mansouri playing up front and then drop Ings to the bench because he's obviously not fully matched for either? I think we do. So Blackburn Rovers have obviously just been relegated from the Premier League. They got promoted in our first season, I believe, in the Championship, because they actually were the team to knock us out of the playoffs, weren't they? So yeah, they've just been relegated from the Premier League. They're obviously very good. I don't know how good they are. I'm hoping we're a reasonable side. I probably should have checked before this match as well, done like the whole season preview to see where we're expected to finish. Banks to Mansouri. It's taken a deflection of Ferrari, and Abdelhamid Mansouri gets his first goal in Reading colours, his first goal in England as well. We take the lead. It wasn't the most convincing, but first time shot, that's an own goal, isn't it? Let's be honest. I'm not going to complain though, because if that means we are going to pick up 3 points against Blackburn, then that will move us up into currently 8th place, depending on how results go around us, but 8th is not bad. Corner for Blackburn right at the death of the first half. Cross comes in. It's a header clear. Pena's chasing it down. Picked up a yellow card. He's got a green hairband on. I don't even know whether you can see that in the video, but he's got a green hairband on. He's taken 17 deflections. That's not Wharton's goal either. That's definitely an own goal off a defender. I did get very excited by the fact that I've got a Colombian with a green headband on. Probably more excited about that than what was going on in the highlight. Right, half-time then. It is at 1-1. Pena's not playing well. Abdulhamid, though, is playing very good up front, which is what we like to see. Sami Smodjic has come on for Blackburn. Obviously, real life, I think he's like the joint top goal scorer, or maybe even he is the top goal scorer in the Championship at the moment, with a fair amount of goals. Well, I really hope Season 4 does not just play out like this. We've had 2 highlights and 2 goals, and that is it in this match. We're going to do a change. Pena is on a 6.2. He's not doing very well. I did not put Onyedinma on the bench. I was going to, and then thought against not doing it. So Hamilton's going to come on. Danny Ings is going to come on as well for Liam Delap. And I will do you that way round. That makes a bit more sense to me. Offerborough as well is going to come off for Potts. Right, final 15 minutes, and it's not looking like the most entertaining game. We've literally had, we've had one shot. We've just had a second and a third. None of them are deemed highlight worthy. We've finally got a highlight. Travis plays the ball forward to Bloxham on the ground, intercepted by Mepham quite easily. Kozlov's ball forward, finds Banks. Danny Ings on the spin. Danny Ings goes for goal. It is well saved by the keeper. just seen Wilson Esbrand has an injury, but there's only 10 minutes left, so we'll maybe keep him on. Possibly, I think we've got, what's his name, Guinness Walker? That's his name, isn't it? On the bench, but there's 10 minutes to play. Counter-attack isn't going to happen. Good. Right, we are going to do the change, so Guinness Walker is going to come on. I'm not sure what that injury is. Does it even tell us? It's a lower leg injury. Right, Scott Banks as well probably needs to come off, and that's a weird thing that we're going to do, but Verrill George is coming on. Mansouri is going to move over to the right-hand side. I think that is all of our changes. A 1-1 draw doesn't sound bad, but if we look at the league table, Blackburn, they're down in 14th, potentially moving up actually to 14th place. It's a corner? I don't know what's happened there. They've got another injury. They've had 3 injuries in this match, by the way. Smodzic has gone over. That's why there's 9 minutes of injury time to play. What is going on? Sami Smodzic then, with the corner on the right-hand side. We've got 8 minutes to play. What, are you going to do anything, guy? Here he goes. Eventually takes the corner. Binder is at the front post. Danny Ings is chasing it down. The old man of the Reading side doesn't go anywhere near the ball. Highlights ends. Still not quite finished. We've had more highlights in injury time than we did in the first half. I think Ferrari with the ball goes for a little wander. It plays it back to the keeper. Not the best pass, to be honest. Header forward. Kozlovs finds Mansouri on that right-hand side. The Algerian plays it into Danny Ings. Verrill George is in the middle. Verrill George is there. And how has he not scored? I'm looking to loan out Verrill George, by the way, but obviously we've got some injuries going on at the moment, so he's going to sit on the bench. Guinness Walker goes over to take the corner. We've got a minute and a half to play of injury time. Can we nick a winner? It's towards a breather. Goalkeeper comes out, easily holds on to that one. I think that is probably the highlight. But another one starts, and Blackburn have the ball up in our half. Kozlovs doesn't get it far enough forward. Smodzic plays it on the ground. Steffi Mavididi bangs it into the bottom corner. In the 99th minute out of 99, we have lost against Blackburn. Oh, it was coming, wasn't it? You just felt it was coming. They were the better side for most of the game. They've picked up the 3 points. This is frustrating, isn't it? They didn't do anything in the second half. They didn't do anything in the first half either. They just scored 2 goals in extra time in both halves of football. Right, luckily for us, Esbrand Wilson is only out for 1 to 3 days. That's not too bad. Pena makes his debut in English football. And it was rubbish, mate. It was really bad. One player, last game. Our strikers were feeding off scraps. Sure, good. At least he accepted it. We've jumped forward a few more days, and by a few more days, it's now mid-October, and we've played some more matches, and we've done all right, I guess. We beaten Bolton 4-2, we beat Sheffield Wednesday 2-0, and then we lose against Watford, a team who were down the wrong end of the table, I think 19th when we played them, and then we've just lost against West Brom as well. So, we picked up a total of 6 points from 12 in between. We've not really done particularly well. We're currently sat mid-table, 12th place, 16 points on the board. I think we are as close to the playoffs as we are to the relegation zone at this point. I'm not confident this season's going to go well for us. We're now going to play Peterborough, who were down in 21st. I'm hoping we can at least win one match on camera today. So I think we are pretty much at full strength. There's only really one change that I would potentially make in this. Boyce Clark in goal, Norton Cuffy, Ferraresi and House and Wilson Esbrand in defence. That's a difficult name to say. Who else? Quite difficult as well, isn't it? He's going to be called Ferrari. I'm sorry, we're just going to call him Ferrari accidentally. Offerer and Hamilton in midfield. Banks and Pena on the wings. Delap and Ings up front. Pena is still playing as a left winger. He's played every match in between after the Blackburn game and hasn't been very good. Onyedinma is back, but he's been kind of in and out of sort of fitness concerns, so we're not starting him, but he will be coming off the bench. That's probably the one player change that I would want to be in our first team. Mepham is out injured, but he is on the subs bench. I don't think we should do that. We haven't got any centre-backs. You're 6'1". You might be able to do a job if we really need to have a centre-back. Right, Mepham's dropped. We've got a Breather. We've got Nissen. It's fine. I think if that's the case, then we'll put George on the bench as well. Right, there we go. Let's beat Peterborough. A match we definitely should be good enough to win. So realistically, our objective for, I guess, now this season, obviously we want to get promoted. But looking at how far away Stoke and Bristol are from us at the moment, 10 points, in fact, between us and Bristol, if everything stays this way, it's the playoffs again. If we're going to go up, it's going to have to be through the playoffs. If we're going to go up as well, guys, we do need to have some highlights and some goals. 28 minutes on the clock, and we do finally have something going on. Liam Delap plays it across to Banks. goes forward a little bit. Long range effort from Scotty Banks, and Sergio Pat in goal for Peterborough makes a very good save. Norton Cuffy is the man to go over to take that corner from the left. It's towards Courtney House, towards the back post, but he doesn't quite get there. Banks collects it. Keep this one alive, please. House to Offenborough, plays it all the way back to Pena. I still love the fact that he's got a green hairband on. Pena's lost out. He should be quick enough to recollect that ball, and does so, but we don't see any more of the highlight. Looking at the match stats, we are definitely on top. Peterborough yet to have a shot. Literally, as I say it, they do have a shot, but they've had one shot, and it apparently wasn't very good. They've now had 3 shots, and this is potentially shots number 4 coming. Banks intercepts it for us, though. Finds Danny Ings. He's wearing gloves. Why? It's the middle of October, Danny. You don't need gloves, mate. Hamilton back to Pena. He should be wearing gloves. He's from Colombia. He's got no idea about this weather. Pena, can he get his cross away? He does towards Banks at the back post. It's not the best effort from Banks. Goes over the bar. It's going to be 0-0 at half time unless something comes from this highlight. Sergio Pat's big kick upfield only finds Courtney House. Pena to Wilson Esbrand. The Man City loanee. I did want to get him on a free transfer or a permanent transfer, but they extended his contract annoyingly. Banks heads forward. He doesn't head forward at all. In fact, Moore has it for Peterborough. He's going to go down that left-hand side. 1 minute of injury time to play in the first half. Liam Delap, the striker, chasing back to nick that ball. Offenborough lumps it towards Pena. It's nowhere near him, and it's coming straight back towards us. Pena's chasing down the ball, though. Vidigal crosses it in. It's toward Brooke. Brooke, buddy, what are you doing? So Norton Cuffy just pushes him straight over. Now Devine steps up. Penalty against Boyce Clark. Come on, Boyce. He's gone the right way, but it's into the bottom corner. We are 1-0 down against Peterborough. And that was literally the last kick of the first half. The last kick of the first half. I mean, we've been terrible. We have been terrible. Go straight into the second half and actually do something, guys. Ferraresi. It's not easy to say. Ferrari. That'll do. Norton Cuffy on the right-hand side. You need to make amends for giving away the penalty. Banks in the middle finds Delap. First time shot from Delap is well saved by Sergio Pat, the former Dutch international goalkeeper, I think he's got a couple of caps. He's like 36 now. Norton Cuffy's gone over to take the resulting corner. Towards the middle, it's headed upwards, and Amos heads off for another corner to us. Norton Cuffy again goes over to take it. I want it on 19's head, on Ferrari's head, or Offenborough. Offenborough will do. Anyone, to be honest. It's anyone's head. Scott Banks collects it. Highlight ends. Another begins with Norton Cuffy and the throw. Banks back to Norton Cuffy. Offenborough tries to get some space for the cross. Norton Cuffy instead could be the one to get the cross in. He does. He finds Liam Delap, and Liam Delap gets goal number 10 of the season. We have made it 1-1. We really should be beating Peterborough, guys. They're in a relegation scrap. Right, on the hour mark, we're going to have to do a change. Danny Ings has not turned up today. So that is going to be your day done, my friend. Ings is coming off. Mansouri is going to be the man to come on and replace him. Offenborough as well is going to come off for Potts. Potts I've brought in. He's going to be more of the defensive midfielder because he's got 11 tackling. He's got 16 passing and 17 technique. Arguably, you should be the DLP. And you should... I don't know who should be the defensive one. We'll go with Potts, why not? Pena as well is going to come off on your Dinmer. Right, so 3 subs done after 60 minutes. We've still got 30 minutes to play to hopefully find a winner. Wilson Esbrand, Tamika Hamilton. Can he whip the cross in? Can't manage it. Finds Wilson Esbrand again. He's gone for a cross towards Banks at the back. Burrows clears it. Woodburn keeps the ball in play as well. Back to Burrows. Harrison Burrows goes for a little run. I think he's quite good, isn't he? Or am I thinking of last season's Football Manager where he was quite good? Banks collects the ball, plays it to Mansouri. He's not going to get there. Liam Delap does, though. Right place, right time for Liam Delap. And we take the lead 2-1, 64 minutes played. I want to get another goal. I really don't trust us. It's at just 2-1. Into the final 15 minutes. It looks like Peterborough are doing a whole bunch of changes and squad rotations to try and get a little bit more offensive. Right now, it has been a very even game. 8 shots to their 6. Both teams have 6 on target. Nothing's happened in the final 15 minutes. We're going to do some time-wasting changes. Nissan's going to come on for Courtney House. We'll do that one change. Pause it, press play, and then we'll get to 90. We'll pause it again, and we'll do our final change, which is going to be Guinness Walker for Wilson Esbrand in that left-back position. So that is it for our changes. We've got 4 minutes to play. Nothing's going to happen. I was going to say it's a good 3 points. It's not a good 3 points. It should have been a guaranteed 3 points. Liam Delap, once again, by the way, he's done this a few times now, is the man of the hour. 2 goals in the second half, picking up the win. And we are still, I guess, kind of in contention for that playoff spot. So right now, then, we are in 10th place, 4 points behind Swansea, who are in 6th. That is obviously our target. I mean, there's a lot of teams in this battle. Arguably, Millwall up to Burnley. There are 5 points. 6 points separating 8th down to 19th place. That's a big amount of teams. And I think that is where we're going to go next. We are going to head up to Burnley on the 19th of December. We're probably going to have a match as well somewhere in January. And also maybe the first match as well outside of the January transfer window, which might be Hull. It might actually be Swansea. I'm not quite sure. We've made it to the 19th of December and we are currently sat 5th place in the table. In between episodes, we've done pretty well. We obviously finished off the last episode with a 2-1 win against Peterborough. Since then, we have beaten Ipswich, Liam Delap with another brace. We lost against Cardiff, a 7-0 win against Sunderland, which was just ridiculous. A hat-trick from Kiddo Taylor-Hart, who, by the way, came off the suspension that one, and he's kind of been playing fairly consistently since that point. Stoke, we win. Sheffield United a draw, another draw against Birmingham, and then a defeat against Burnley. 3 wins on the spin, and then we have just lost 2-0 against West Brom, which is not ideal today. It is going to be Burnley. It is going to be a January transfer window, and it's going to be someone after the transfer window closes as well. Financially, we've got £4 million to spend because the board decided to give us a little bit more money. I don't think we're going to spend it. So from a league table perspective, obviously 5th place in the league. Not actually terrible. We are 6 points behind Wolves, who are obviously in that second promotion spot. I think Stoke are already too far away to be caught. However, I did check before I started recording. If you double their points, which is roughly where we are in the season, they're only going to get 100. Last season, if we just remind ourselves, it was 110 and 109 points in first and second. We could arguably kind of get close to that. 80 points. It's probably not close enough. The starting lineup then for the Burnley game. I believe it is 3rd versus 5th at the moment for this. It's Boyce Clark in goal, Norton Cuffy, Mepham, House and Wilson Esbrand in defence. Kozlovs and Hamilton in midfield. I'm starting to play Kozlovs a lot more as a ball-winning midfielder, even though he can't really play there. But Hamilton is so much more useful as a DLP than on the subs bench. So Kozlovs is kind of going to have to reposition himself, which he should be good enough to do. It's Banks and Taylor-Hart on the wings, Ings and Delap up front. Liam Delap, by the way, you might have spotted, is currently the top scorer in the league with 20 goals in 24 games for us. He's very good. So Burnley are a good team. Burnley are definitely going to cause us some problems. They started off, I think last season, technically, it was last season they started off pretty badly. This season, they've started off quite well, up into 2nd place without even kicking a ball. But this is their 25th game of the season compared to Wolves' 23. We are 8 minutes on the clock and we've lost the ball. Davies plays it in the middle to Igor, goes for a little run. Nope, plays it to Cullen instead on the ground. Finds Lyle Foster, gets a bit of space for himself. Boyce Clark does just enough to stop that one from going in, but it is going to be a corner. Trezor has gone over to take it from the left-hand side. Right-footed corner. It's Ekdal heads over the bar. We've kind of weathered a little bit of a storm so far. It's probably still too early in the season to really pay attention to what's going on in and around us, but as long as we keep winning our games, that should be good enough for us. Wilson Esbrand plays it on the ground. It's not a good pass. And Igor, okay, passes it straight to Liam Delap. There we go. Taylor-Hart down the wing does find Kiddo Taylor-Hart, and he tucks it into the bottom corner, his 6th goal of the season. He has come in basically because Onyedinma Dinma was injured, and Taylor-Hart has basically gone, I've had enough of being a bench player. I'm going to start being a number 1. And he's doing a pretty good job of it. That goal doesn't do anything for us when it comes to the league table, but it does kind of solidify our place in that sort of playoff hunt, I guess is what we're going to say. And it means we'll only be 3 points behind Wolves, who are obviously in 2nd place. Final few minutes of the first half. Foster's in on goal. He's hit the post, and we just calmly clear the ball. Delap's chested it down as well. Is this going to be a counter-attack for us? Liam Delap goes off towards that left-hand side. Taylor-Hart is in front of him. This might actually be a counter-attacking chance. Taylor-Hart goes backwards to Wilson Esbrand. Now Hamilton in the middle is Kozlovs. Makes some space for himself, and the Latvian's effort goes over the bar. I say Latvian as well, by the way. He's part Latvian. I think he's actually decided he wants to be English now. Half-time, it is 1-0 to Reading. We're looking okay. I would like to have a second goal. Yeah, Roman Kozlov's now got under-19s caps for England. So, yeah, he doesn't want to be Latvian anymore. No changes for us as we go into the second half. I'm looking at Danny Ings. You've not been playing particularly well. Kozlov's as well actually is doing massively good in the middle either. Corner comes in. It's headed clear. Lyle Foster is going to get there first for Burnley. Down the line, finds Ekdal. Hamilton intercepts it, and the ball is cleared upfield. Is it me or is it really foggy? Is this match just really foggy all of a sudden? Igor's going to go for a run. Plays it off to the left-hand side. Calafiori collects it. He's got some company in front of him. Manages to go backwards. Not the best interception attempt. Okay, finds Bogle. Wilson Esbrand with a superb sliding tackle, but Bogle keeps it alive. We need to get there first and clear it. This is a goal. This is definitely a goal coming. He's at the post as well. What is going on? Just somebody clear the ball. Fiore's going to just head off for a goal kick for us. That was certainly close. We are definitely holding on at the moment. They've had 1.4 XG. They've had plenty more chances, plenty more possession as well compared to us. And there is the equalising goal. Igor, his 5th of the season from the corner. I was just about to do some tactical changes to try and shore up the defence a little bit. I guess we're not going to bother with that. Instead, we're going to do 3 more attacking changes, I guess. Offenbrook is going to come on as that ball in the midfielder, so that one's not really attacking, is it? Onyedinma and Mansouri are coming on for Danny Ings and Scott Banks, basically because none of them are playing very well at all. Boyce Clark, by the way, on a 7.3, he's kind of keeping us in this game at the moment, isn't he? I would love to get us another chance and just nick another goal. Nick a winner, and I'd be a very happy boy. Taylor Hart plays it in the middle to Offenbrook, on the ground to Mansouri. Tries to find Taylor Hart. It's found its way to Delap. This is a kick clash. Is this not a kick clash? Because this horrible foggy weather that seems to be going on, I can't quite tell who's who. They're wearing maroon, we're wearing purple. Why aren't we wearing blue and white? Lyle Foster's headed effort goes over the bar. We've got 20 minutes of normal time to play. And I'd argue, is a draw good? I think a draw has to be good enough, doesn't it? For a team up in 2nd and 3rd place, a draw probably is kind of what you'd hope for. Obviously away from home as well. Into the final 10 minutes, I'm going to look at doing a change or 2. Just kind of more time wasting. Mika Hamilton off. Lewis Warrington can come on. Sure, you're the guy I'm training up to a right winger, but you're going to be in the middle of midfield for this bit. Thinking Taylor Hart as well, although we've only got really defensive players left on the subs bench. Centre-back, left-back, right-back, centre-back. Maybe we do Norton Cuffy coming off then for a breather. Final few minutes. The fog has lifted, apparently. I don't know why there was loads of fog, but it's all gone all of a sudden. Cross comes in. Troy Parrott's headed effort goes over the bar. And it's looking like it's going to be a 1-1 draw, which, with our 1 shot on target, I think we kind of have to take that, don't we? 4 minutes of injury time to play as well. I'll take a draw. I'll certainly take a win. If something comes from this, Courtney House with the ball, plays it on the ground to Warrington all the way back to Boyce Clark. I feel like Burnley are going to score a winner here. House to Taylor Hart. Goes in the middle, finds Warrington. His poor control has cost us... It's cost us a point. It's cost us a point. And actually, it's given Burnley 3. It's a cracking finish, to be fair. But Warrington has balls that up for us. And that was literally the last kick of the game. So a foggy afternoon in Lancashire has ended up with us losing when arguably we were good enough to get something out of that game. We were good enough to get something out of that game. Can we see the match ratings for our subs? Because Warrington did not do very well at all. He wasn't on the pitch long enough to get anything. It's frustrating because that was potentially 3 points that we could have got there, and we've walked away with nothing. And off the back of it, Liam Delap's agents turned up and said, "I'd like a new contract." Izzy Smith, are you any good as a... I mean, he's on 14 grand a week. I don't want a minimum fee release. They're expecting 30,000. Oh, this is going to be painful. I mean, this is what they've gone for. I'm going to remove those because I feel like that is it's kind of... It's going to kill us, isn't it? We're just off of that. 39 grand a week. He's going to be our highest earner by a fair distance. 36. That's going to be painful. He's getting 5 grand every goal he scores. So with that defeat, we have obviously dropped out of the playoffs for now. We're going to go forward. We've got the January transfer window opening very, very soon, but we're going to actually jump forward to somewhere in the middle of it. I'm going to go with Ipswich. Have we played Ipswich on camera before? Probably. I'm certain we played Peterborough. In fact, we played them last episode, so we're not going to do that. We'll come back for the Ipswich game. There will be transfer business as well, though, before we kick that one off. We're now halfway through January. The transfer window is obviously open, and we've done a small amount of business. In fact, most of the business we have done is extending contracts of quite a few important players. Liam Delap, obviously, we saw Mepham now has a new deal. Kiddo Taylor Hart has a new contract, and a few others as well have kind of signed slightly more expensive, arguably too much expensive new contracts, but... we've obviously, that's kind of where our money's gone. Unfortunately, we haven't really been able to strengthen too much at the moment. We have brought in a couple of free transfers, though. Players that were released from random clubs in England. Frankie O'Donnell was a 19-year-old Northern Irish striker, got released from Bromley, and my scouts went, you should probably buy him. He was available on a free, so we brought him in. We'll probably never see him play. An 18-year-old English goalkeeper, Steve Beaumont, was released by West Ham. Similar thing, was released on a free. We'll probably never see him, but he's an English goalkeeper, and it's something we kind of need because our sub-goalkeeper is Italian, and he's not going to get a work permit for next year. So Steve Beaumont might be our number 2 going into, hopefully, a Premier League season in Season 5. And the reason why I say hopefully a Premier League season is because we are now currently 3rd place in the table. We are still 6 points behind at 1st and 2nd place Stoke and Wolves, but we are now chasing them very, very closely. And that's because basically since we last met, which was the Burnley game, we've won absolutely everything, beating Bolton, beating Sheffield Wednesday, beating Watford and beating Peterborough. Liam Delap scoring bucket loads of goals. He's now got 27 goals in 29 starts. He's getting paid far too much money, but he is producing the results. We've also knocked Crawley out of the FA Cup and set up a fourth round tie against Manchester United, which sounds exciting, but basically Man United are going to batter us, so we're not going to do that one on camera. We are going to stick with the Ipswich game, which we're going to play now, and we probably need to do a bit of rotation, because basically I didn't rest anybody after the Peterborough game, and now it's Tuesday. So this is what we're going to go for then. It's not actually too rotated, really. Boyce Clark in goal, Norton Cuffy in defence with Ferraresi, Mepham and Wilson Esbrand, Offenborough and Kozlovs in midfield, Banks and Taylor Hart on the wings, Ings and Delap leading the lines. I'm tempted to transfer list Onyedinma, because I think he's third on the list, because we've got Pena, obviously, who I'm hoping has a fair amount of potential on him, so he's going to be kind of the second choice left winger, which means Fred Onyedinma isn't really needed. And if he's worth £11 million, that will come in very, very, very useful. I think we're going to do it. So hopefully this isn't going to be a foggy mess against Ipswich. A second away match of the episode. I think Ipswich down in 11th, 10th place, moving up to 9th apparently, if this one stays as a draw. We really do need to keep winning our games. We need to chase down Stoke and Wolves. And I feel like we've played Stoke and Wolves fairly recently. Banks with a free kick for us. We're wearing our grey kit today, when arguably the purple one might have been fine to wear. I don't understand how the kits are chosen. Banks' effort is saved well by Martinez, and it is going to be a corner. Banks obviously goes over to take it from that right-hand side. 11 minutes on the clock. Cross comes in. Ferraresi's there at the front post. Can't quite find him. Norton Cuffy's decided he'd rather have a throw from that. Boyce Clark with a goal kick just under 20 minutes played. Mepham collects it with his brand new shiny contract. He threatened to leave on a free transfer, so we kind of had no choice but to extend his deal, because he's very good. Him and Courtney House are our two central defenders for arguably the rest of this save that we're going to do. Kozlov's ball upfield finds Liam Delap. Can he get goal number 619 of the season? He does. It's goal number 31 for number 31 Liam Delap. I genuinely was not convinced when I signed Liam Delap, because of his previous seasons in this game and in real life. He's not a massive goal scorer, but for some reason, in this save for this Reading team, he is banging in goals for fun. Elsewhere, Burnley and Sheffield United are playing each other, which is 4th and 5th place, which if that ends as a draw, that will be very useful for absolutely everybody involved. We need to make sure that we win this game against Ipswich. That was their first real attack, and they almost scored from it. 2 minutes left of the first half to hopefully hold on. Alex Tellez has gone over to take the corner towards the 6-yard box and cleared. Ferraresi is going to hopefully keep this ball in play. You've gone the wrong way, mate, but it's fine. The highlight ended. And so did the first half then. 1-0 to Reading so far. We've looked okay. It's not been the most exciting game of football. Everyone's playing fine. Taylor Hart, maybe we need to bring you off. Maybe we're going to give Pena a chance. Pena, by the way, did play a couple of cup games and actually scored in one of them. His current ability is 2.5 star. What? Has he suddenly got amazing and I haven't noticed? I say amazing. I mean, 2.5 star is worse than Kiddo Taylor Hart, but still, it's a lot better than what he was when we first signed him. Cross came in from the corner. Delap's effort finds Danny Ings, who heads over the bar, and I think, yeah, I was going to say he was offside. He wasn't offside. It's just gone off for a goal kick. Speaking of goal kicks, we've got one of our own. Mepham has it. 55 minutes on the clock. Mepham to Wilson Esbrand on the left-hand side. We've got Pena in front of him with his lovely green hairband. Finds Liam Delap on a yellow card. Do we need to consider bringing Delap off? Because we don't want to get him suspended. Banks collects it on the right-hand side. Acres and acres of space. He goes for goal himself. Arguably, it was the best decision, but his shot was not the best. I think we are going to do this Liam Delap change just because he's looking unfit, or not unfit, he's looking tired as well. So we're going to do Mansouri coming on. They recommended Basil Chuma, who by the way has returned from his loan spell, which kind of ended in January. Kozlovs is going to come off as well for Freddie Potts. I don't think we've seen Freddie Potts yet. He's played 3 matches off the subs bench. Although we are winning this game, I would love to get a second goal. I think we really do need to get this second goal just because a draw here against Ipswich is not a good result at all. 78th minute. Vigna down the line to Valoyes. Back to Vigna. In the middle is, I assume, Flynn Downs. Baldini has to go all the way back to his central defender. Now Carr lumps it over the top. On the right-hand side is Maida, who, by the way, has been very good, apparently, for Ipswich. That's what all the media was saying. He's their star man. We need to look out for him. And so far, we've not seen him until the 77th minute. Boyce Clark with the ball in his hands. What are we going to do? Goes for a little walk, eventually throws it out to Mepham on that left-hand side. Ferraresi in the middle. Right-hand side is Norton Cuffy if we want to use him, which would be quite nice. He does eventually get it to Norton Cuffy down that right-hand side. goes for a little bit of a wander. Now Banks in the middle, on the ground, finds Danny Ings. Can Danny Ings score? Danny Ings does score his 7th goal of the season. He's not really been doing a huge amount for us, but he's picked up the odd goal here and there, and that one there might be quite important for us. It's 2-0. And I think with that goal as well, it's time to do some changes. Basil Tuma coming on the right-hand side. Why not? Might be the last time we see Basil, by the way, because he's out of contract at the end of the season, and I don't think he's good enough to stay around, unfortunately. We're also going to do Nissen coming on for Mepham, because Mepham's looking very tired. So 10 minutes or so left to play, 2-0 advantage. It's looking pretty good. If we can get ourselves a third, I'd be very, very happy. Morsey's off injured as well, so it's 10-man Ipswich. Mansouri goes for goal, hits the bar, and it goes off for a goal kick. Sheffield United have just taken the lead against Burnley. Which means we are now 2 points clear in third place, as opposed to potentially only, I think it was actually we were joint on points with Burnley if Burnley win that match. Maida on the right-hand side, 8 minutes of injury time. I can only assume that was due to the Morsey injury. Broadhead's not going to get it, but it is another Ipswich player instead, and Nathan Broadhead is in the middle, makes it 2-1. Let's not throw this away, guys. Let's not throw this away. We are 100 minutes in, and the full-time whistle does eventually go. So we have managed to pick up 3 further points, and not a bad result at all, to be honest. Decent performance as well, and a goal for Danny Ings, something that doesn't happen too often. And just to prove my point, that is his first goal in 11 hours of competitive football. So yeah, he's played a lot, not really scored much. So we're now going to jump forward to the other side of the January transfer window. One more match in today's episode, which I think might be Hull. Down in 19th place, another match away from home. We're going to play, obviously, Man United and Bristol in the league off camera. We've got no money really to spend when it comes to transfers. We might lose a player. It might be a breather. So we might bring in a right back on loan to be a backup. He doesn't play for us, to be honest. So the transfer window has now closed and we have sold Kelvin Abrefa. We'll get to him in just a moment. You can see on the left-hand side, we are now up into third place in the table and just 1 point behind Stoke, 4 points behind Wolves. We've done very well because we've beaten Bristol City 5-1. In fact, we've gone undefeated in the league throughout the entirety of January. We did lose against Man United, and we played quite well. A Diego Dalot goal was the only difference, basically, in that one. But yes, we beat Bristol City 5-1. Dalap with a brace, Scott Banks with 2 as well, and Mansouri also on the score sheet in this one. And we've brought in Junior Chamedu. Might be his name, a left back on loan, or right back, sorry, on loan from Stoke, basically because we need to have ourselves a backup. And he's probably good enough to play. He's probably as good as Norton Cuffy. Is he out of contract? He's not out of contract. I thought he might have been out of contract at the end of the season. He might be. We might need to bring him in the summer. But if we get promoted, maybe he's not going to be good enough for us. And we have sold Kelvin Abrefa to Ipswich for about £6.5 million, which is quite a lot of money for a player who literally played about 12 times for us off the bench this season. So yeah, we don't really miss him. I think he's good, but we just never played him, so cashing in is probably a sensible thing to do. And I think he only had a year left on his contract. Also, as part of that, we did get £4 million to spend, which we clearly haven't spent anymore. So this is the squad that we've got going into the remainder of the season. There's still some other players that might leave on sort of loan deals, potentially. I don't know if we can still do loan deals, like Semeo, who's returned, and we're not going to play him, basically. But he's there in the first team. We are obviously hoping for automatic promotion, or maybe even the title. So we've got a big few months between now and the end of the season. But first, we're going to jump forward for 3 days' time where we'll play Hull in the league. And I'm hoping we should be good enough to win that. And we might end this episode actually in the top 2. Because on Saturday, Stoke are playing Luton. In fact, we could end this episode in the top 2 because we're playing on the Friday night. So we just don't worry what Stoke are doing. And if we win, we will go into second place. In fact, even if we draw, we'll go into second place. The starting lineup then for the Hull game. It's our third match that is away from home in this episode. It's going to be Boyce Clark in goal, Norton Cuffy, Mepham House and Wilson Esbrand in defence. Although, actually, we're going to play Guinness Walker because I promised he's going to get some more game time. So we're going to do that a little bit in this episode. Offenborough and Kozlov's in midfield. We have had Hamilton out injured for the last few matches. He's back, but I'm not going to risk him just yet. He'll probably come on in the second half. It's going to be Banks and Pena on the wings, Mansouri and Delap leading the lines. I'd love somebody else to score some goals. Liam Delap scoring 33 is great and all, but nobody else has broken double figures. You may well have probably noticed that we are starting to play some more of our non-English players or non-work permit players, like your Penas, your Mansouris and players like that, purely because if we don't play them, they're not going to get a work permit, and we need to kind of make sure they are good enough to get a work permit and get in game time, which means Mansouri and Pena probably going to be playing every single game between now and the end of the season, which might be a risk. It really might be a risk, but I kind of want to keep them in the country. 20 minutes played already against Hull, and literally one shot has taken place for Hull, and we didn't see anything at all. And another 15 or so minutes have passed, and another shot's taken place. This time it was for us. Still no highlights. Right, we've had a few more shots, but still, again, no more highlights. 2 minutes of injury time to play, and finally, with 1 minute and 5 seconds left of the first half on the clock, left to play, sorry, we have ourselves the first highlight of the game. Turns, plays it forward to Iqbal, all the way back low to the goalkeeper, and it's intercepted by Mansouri. Dink it over the keeper, he doesn't bother, instead he blasts it into the back of the net. Abdelhamid Mansouri makes it 1-0 right before half-time, and that, I'm happy with it, although I'd like some more, highlights. Doesn't make for a good YouTube video if nothing happens. Literally, the last kick of the first half, and obviously the last highlight of the first half as well, we're doing alright. Why did I say that? We're not doing alright at all. Midfielders, you weren't bad, you can do better. Attackers, you weren't bad, but you can do better. That worked. Banks and Pena are the players that are really struggling by the looks of it, on a 6-4 and a 6-5. So I assume, I haven't looked, I probably should know this, but I assume Wolves are playing kind of like 3 at the back. Delap's got an open goal here. It's taken a deflection off Turns. Oh, that could have been a cracking goal from Delap because the keeper was nowhere near his line, but Turns makes a good bit of defending effort to prevent the goal. Norton Cuffy goes over to take the corner. It's Mepham at the front post, doesn't quite get there. Norton Cuffy decides he's not going to chase that one down and takes the throw instead, which I thought we were going to see, but no, apparently not. We are going to do a change very, very soon, which is going to be Scotty Banks coming off because he's not doing anything at all on a 6.3 at the moment. It's going to be Taylor Hart coming on the right-hand side, which he can play there. Obviously, Pena can't play there, so we're just going to keep him on the left. I think we're only going to do that. No, we're not. We're going to do Kozlov's as well coming off for Hamilton. Sure, we'll do that change. It's a risk because Hamilton's just come back from his injury, but I think he's fine. He should be okay. Longman gets the ball back to Bradley for Hull. Pena intercepts it but loses immediately straight back to Bradley. Pena's chasing the ball down. Cross comes in anyway, and it is a good save from Boyce Clark. Certainly not been an absolute cracker of a game of football, has it? It's been fairly uneventful. Not a huge amount of chances have taken place, but we do have that vital goal so far. Harrison, long-range free kick, hits the post, goes off for a goal kick. Into the final 10. Liam Delap having a very rare off day today, so he is going to be coming off for Danny Ings. Do we swap you two round? I mean, maybe. No, we'll keep you that way round. I think that's what we're going to do. Actually, no, we're not. Yeah, wait, what am I talking about? No, we'll do that. Wilson Esbrand as a left winger? Is that a thing? We're going to go for it. I mean, I just did that sub without even thinking. I saw he was on a 6-5 and just immediately replaced him with anyone who was appropriate. Which turned out to be a left-back, which is fair enough. Courtney House is also going to come off for Nissen because Nissen needs a work permit, so we need to get some game time under his belt, which I imagine getting 10 minutes at the end of a match doesn't count, but we're going to go for it. Guinness Walker with a corner for us. It's towards Mepham at the back post, and Chris Mepham gets his 3rd goal of the season. That surely finishes this match off. A 2-0 win, hopefully, against Hull. 3 more points in the bag and up to 2nd place in the table. We are going to see what happens in the Stoke game on the Saturday as well, just in case they slip up, which would be lovely. Even if Wolves slip up as well, would be even better. Guinness Walker with a throw of the... We are 5 minutes of the 7 of injury time to play. Guinness Walker across to Nissen. In the middle is Mepham, one of our 2 goal scorers. On the ground finds Offerborough. Not seen him at all all match, have we? And he's on a 7.0. Fair play. Mepham again. Onto the right-hand side, finds Norton Cuffy, back to Mepham. I feel like Hull are going to score here. We're going to misplace a pass, and it's going to come for Hull. Wilson Esbrand, ball on the ground, finds Danny Ings. Mansouri is in the middle, so is... I was going to say Banks, it's not, it's Taylor Hart, isn't it? It's fallen for Mika Hamilton. He's hit the underside of the bar as well. The ball is cleared. It should have been 3. The full-time whistle goes, it stays 2-0. And we picked up 3 more very valuable points. Decent performance in the end, but we were really not very good in the first half. And on the wings, they were not good at all. 7 straight wins propels us up into 2nd place in the table. We are going to jump forward to the other side of the Saturday fixtures. Maybe even Sunday. No, we're not going to go to the Sunday because there's nothing happening on the Saturday. So we want to see what Stoke are doing. I'm not attending that match. We're going to see. Who are Stoke? Stoke are Luton, aren't they? And then Wolves are Swansea. Both of them are away. So there's a possibility that they can both slip up. Right, come on. Come on, Luton. Come on, Swansea. Please, for me... I don't know why you do it for me, but please, for me, beat whoever you're playing, and then we'll stay in 2nd place. We've dropped down to 3rd. Okay, right, what's happened there? What has actually gone on? Swansea lost 1-0, and Luton lost 2-1. Great. So, basically, everything that we wanted to happen didn't happen at all. We've dropped back down to 3rd place, but we are now most certainly in this battle for not only automatic promotion, but the title as well. Do we have to play Stoke and Wolves? Next episode, we're playing Stoke and Wolves. Okay. Next episode, we're going to do those three, I think. Sheffield United, obviously, is still in this as well. What? So we're playing literally first, second, and fourth, and we're third. Next episode is going to be massive, and we've obviously got Swansea, Blackburn, Sunderland, and Cardiff in between as well, which I'm hoping we can win 3 of those 4. Arguably, we should win all 4 of them, because we are the third best team in the league at the moment. Thank you very much for watching this one. If you did enjoy, like, subscribe, and all the fun, fancy YouTubey bobbins. And I'll be back next time with probably the biggest episode in our season, in our entire career as Reading manager. Thanks for watching. Automatic promotion could very well be on the cards for our Reading side. However, in today's episode, we have 3 gigantic matches to play. We have Stoke, who are just 2 points behind us in 3rd place. We have Sheffield United, who are down in 5th. They were in 4th last episode, so they've fallen off just a little bit. And then we also have Wolves, who are currently top of the table. If we lose against Stoke, we will drop down to 3rd. If we lose against Sheffield United and Wolves, we may even drop down to 4th or 5th. However, if we win all 3, we might actually be top of the table. In between episodes, we have not done particularly badly. We've also not done particularly well either. We did lose 4-1 against Sunderland and a 0-0 draw with Swansea, but a 3-0 win and a 5-0 win against Cardiff, with Liam Delap scoring 4, obviously, in that one. Gives us 7 points out of a possible 12, but the good news is for us, during that time, I believe Stoke dropped some points. They, in fact, dropped a fair amount of points, losing to Ipswich, drawing with Sheffield United, and losing against Wolves. And Wolves lost against Coventry, but then won the other 3 matches. So they actually picked up 9 points. So we only dropped 2 points off of Wolverhampton Wanderers, which, in the grand scheme of things, isn't too bad. If we finish 2nd place in the table, automatic promotion will take place, and we'll be in the Premier League for our final season with Reading. If we drop down into the playoffs, I do not like our chances, because we always seem to balls up the playoffs. The starting lineup for the Stoke game, then, it's not as good as we'd hoped it would be. It's going to be Boyce Clark in goal, Norton Cuffy, Mepham, House, and Guinness Walker in defence. Offerborough and Hamilton in midfield. Basil Chuma starts on the right-hand side with Kiddo Taylor-Hart on the left. Danny Ings and Mansouri up front. Liam Delap needs a rest. He scored 39 goals so far this season, and he's a little bit tired. This is not the time for you to need a rest, okay, mate? This is not the time. You've got 36 goals in 36 starts. Kind of need you, but we can't risk him. We really can't risk him. We've also got a whole bunch of injuries and things like that as well. So we've got Pena slightly injured. Anya Dinmer is out injured as well. So we're missing some of our wings, which is why Basil Chuma's actually playing. I didn't want to play him, but I kind of didn't have the choice. We've also got Howard and Beale on the subs bench, who are under 21s players. They shouldn't be on the bench, but we are that kind of down to our bare bones at the moment that I feel like we don't really have too much of a choice. This is the game that we have to win, really. This is the one that I really want to win. And we have taken the lead, Brooke Norton-Cuffy, after 10 minutes from the corner. It was a bit of a calamitous goalkeeping error, I think. I think Angus Gunn had the ball in his hands and then just kind of dropped it, or Norton-Cuffy came in and just kind of barged him off the ball. I don't know. But we have taken the lead, and that goal could be absolutely massive for our season. It's a corner, though, for Stoke at the other end. Tavares steps up to take it from the right-hand side. Where is it going to go? We need to get this ball clear. It's towards Moraes at the front post, and it is 1-1. So neither team can defend corners at the moment. That's not what we want. So if we don't lose this game, we will stay in 2nd place. And if we draw, it will be 2 points gap, as it currently is. A win, however, will make it, what's that? It's going to drop them down to 65 and push it up onto 70. So there'll be a 5-point gap between us and 3rd place Stoke, which is absolutely massive. Santiago's got a corner, though, for Stoke after 37 minutes. Steps up to take it right-footed towards the front post. It's cleared. Norton-Cuffy is chasing it down. Berger collects, though. Santiago to Leris. It's Leris. He's hit the post. Guinness Walker's clearance isn't the best, but we've managed to find upfield towards Mansouri. Is this going to be a counter-attack, or was that little chance from Stoke the only thing? The chance from Stoke was the only thing. Angus Gunn with the goal kick to Wilmot. On the ground to Berger, all the way back to Gunn. It's Krejci, possibly could be his name. Kicks it upfield, but Offerborough intercepts it very easily. Basil's there. Big bad Basil finds Mansouri in the middle. And Basil Chuma, who was playing in League 2 earlier on in this season on loan, he might have even been lower than that, has returned and he's got himself an assist on his first start since returning back to the club. We retake the lead and we regain that 5-point advantage as well over 3rd place Stoke. And that takes us into half-time as well with that 2-1 lead. No changes for us at half-time. It looks like Josh Lawrence has come on for Stoke for Wouterberger. I'm looking at Kiddo Taylor-Hart. He's on a 6.4. Not playing very well at all. Cannon collects it for Stoke. 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the second half, and that's not ideal. Leris is in, crosses it low, it's saved by Boyce Clark, but Santiago can mop up the pieces, and it is 2-2 already in the second half. I feel like this might be a high-scoring game. I know it's very easy to say that when 4 goals have already gone in, but I feel like there's more goals in this match. Free kick for Krejci to take. It's Boyce Clark, though, just about sees that one over. It's gone off for a goal kick. Decent chance to Stoke. I think Stoke are actually having the better chances, but we've obviously managed to score 2 goals, and one of them, I think, was just... It was easier to score than it was to miss. Kiddo Taylor-Hart is going to have to come off. Who is Rob Beale? Is he any good as a left winger? No, he's not, is he? He's out of contract at the end of the year as well. Do we bring Rob Beale on that left-hand side? We might have to. Or do we do Wilson Esbrand? It's got to be... Let's do the sensible thing, okay? This is an important match. Let's do the sensible thing. Offenborough as well for Freddie Potts, because Offenborough's not playing particularly well. Freddie Potts, should you be... Do we do it that way round? That way round might make more sense. Sheffield United are currently winning their game as well against Luton, which means Sheffield United are keeping pace as well. It is not a 3-horse race yet. It's not far from being a 3-horse race, but it's not one just yet. Tavares has the ball for Stoke on the left-hand side. Plays it forward to one of the goal scorers, Santiago. 3-4 Stoke players in the middle. Norton Cuffy can't quite get the ball. Santiago again crosses it in. It's fallen for Moraes, and he gets his second of the game, and we are 3-2 down, and that's not good. This is not what we need to happen at all. This is not what we need to happen. Stoke move up into second place. We drop down to third. We are going to do... Delap has to come on, doesn't he? We have to bring on Liam Delap. We need a goal. Delap is the man to get that goal. Norton Cuffy's struggling as well. I don't know who to bring off here. Courtney House is having a shocker. Right, Liam, if we ever need a goal from you, today is the day. Score a hat-trick. You love scoring loads of goals. You've got a massive goal bonus, and you're earning every single penny of it at the moment. Liam Delap does have the ball. Plays it back to Guinness Walker. I'm hoping there's an international break soon. Mika Hamilton... Off towards the right-hand side. No, it's not. It's through to Mansouri in the the Algerians' effort. He's just wide of the post. Boyce Clark is on a 6.2. He's on a 6.2. Have you cost us this game, mate? Final 5 minutes. We've got possibly another chance. Basil Tuma collects it. There's 4 in the box. Ferraresi's one of them. It's a penalty. We've got a penalty in the 85th minute. Who is stepping up to take it? It is number 31. Of course, it is Liam Delap. Liam Delap against his dad's former side of Stoke City. Go on, Liam. Go on, Liam. Oh, my word. Has he just gone for a Paneka? Is that what they're called? His 40th goal of the season is 3-3 against Stoke. He just dinked it forward with a little lob. Angus Gunn just flops over to his left-hand side or the right-hand side. And what a risky penalty to do, mate, when we really don't want to lose this game. We've got a free kick in a very good position as well, just before the 90. It is Potts stepping up to take it. We see very little of Potts at the moment, don't we? Right-footed free kick. We've got plenty of purple shirts in the box. Are we going to sneak a winner? Potts' effort hits the bar. Mepham can hopefully keep this one alive. Cross it in. It's not a good cross. It's fallen for Potts once again. Now for Aresi on that left-hand side. He's a centre-back. Why are you trying to go down the wing? 5 minutes of injury time is just ticking away. The full-time whistle is about to go. It does go. A 3-3 draw against Stoke. A 3-3 draw. I'll tell you what, that was certainly a match for the neutrals. The fact that we needed Rory Delap, we needed Liam Delap to come off the bench to get that goal was... I didn't want to bring him on, but we needed that goal. And Basil Tuma actually getting man of the match for us on a 7.7. So on 37 games now, we are still in second place, 5 points behind Wolves, who have a game in hand, which they're not playing for quite a while by the looks of it, because they actually played Arsenal in the FA Cup. So we now go forward. Sheffield United next up. It is second versus fifth. Another game where we have to win. We are also going to have to give Liam Delap a little break because he's very tired. So we're going to give him basically 3 days off training. In fact, we're going to give a fair few players some time off training by the looks of it. I think we're going to go for those ones. So it's going to be Hamilton, Norton Cuffy, Tuma. We need to do Mansouri as well. I don't know why he's not selected. Oh, he's selected. Guinness Walker, Mepham and Liam Delap are all going to have themselves a little bit of a break. Probably, let's do 2 days. It's a week. It's a whole week until we play our next match. So it should be fine. Match number 2 then at home against Sheffield United. Starting 11-wise, it is basically the same. So it's Boyce Clark, Norton Cuffy, Mepham, House and Guinness Walker in defence. Offenborough and Hamilton in midfield. Basil Tuma keeps his place on the right-hand side with Taylor-Hart on the left. Danny Ings and Liam Delap up front for this one. So Delap is going to get himself a start today. We need to keep him fit for this and keep him fit for the Wolves game. And then after that, in theory, we should be able to kind of rotate him out of the squad a little bit because he's played a lot of football and obviously scored a lot of goals as well. Now, I was going to play Scott Banks on the right-hand side, who also has been out injured, but because Tuma played well, I want to keep him in the squad. And also because Banks was out injured, I don't want to bring him back too soon, just in case he gets injured again. So it's a delicate balancing act to try and make sure that we don't just destroy all of our best players. Stoke are 1-0 down against Birmingham already. That's very helpful to us. It does now mean that West Brom are involved in this battle for automatic promotion, arguably all the way down to possibly Burnley. They might be a little bit too far away though. 32 minutes on the clock. Guinness Walker's free kick towards Danny Ings doesn't quite find him. Tuma's flicked head finds Courtney House. The centre-back, not really where you want him to be, is it? Basil Tuma in towards the penalty area, goes for goal, and big, bad Basil Tuma gets his second of the season. I think his first came for like Oxford or whoever he's out on loan at. And we take the lead against Sheffield United. Basil Tuma is not very good, but he always comes up with the goods. Norton Cuffy on the right-hand side with a throw and a yellow card to his name early on, which might be a bit of a worry. What have we done? What's happened there? Mika Hamilton's just walked into Offenborough. Luckily, we've managed to get the ball back. Danny Ings goes for a little bit of a run himself. He's just muscling Hamer off the ball. Now on the left-hand side is Guinness Walker. Is he going to go down the line? No, spins instead inside to Taylor Hart. Across to Offenborough. Now Hamilton. I feel like there's a second goal coming. Basil Tuma could be the guy. Liam Delap probably is the guy. The ball goes in, but I think it's not going to count. The flag has gone up, so it's going to stay 1-0. I don't know what it is, but Basil Tuma is just a difference maker, and I don't understand it at all. Guinness Walker with a corner for us. It's towards Mepham at the back post. In fact, Delap ghosts in there in the middle, heads just over the bar. We're looking very good. We are looking really, really good. I think we need to get a goal or two more, and then we should be quite comfortable in this game, which is ridiculous against a team who are pushing for automatic promotion, and we're just making them look silly. No changes for us at half-time. I'm looking at Taylor Hart, though, because he's not doing particularly well at the moment on the left-hand side. We don't really have the options on the subs bench. We could do Mansouri, maybe bring Scott Banks off the subs bench as well, obviously, but I don't want to do it because of his injury, like I said at the start. Not really a lot's going on so far in this game. In the second half, at the very least, Tuma's ball forward towards Delap doesn't really manage to find Hamilton, though. And now Sheffield United can possibly start a counter-attack of their own. Lacey on the right-hand side for them. In towards Archer in the middle. Hamilton tries to stick out a leg and nick it. Can't manage it. Archer's effort goes just over Boyce Clark's bar. Very good chance for Sheffield United. Another little storm weathered. Let's do some subs. Taylor Hart is coming off. Scott Banks is going to have to come on, I think. We're also going to take off. Delap is not playing well. That's not good. That's really not good. We'll do Mansouri coming on because I like Mansouri. He's definitely got a future at this club, but he's not good enough at the moment to really be playing week in, week out, especially in these games where we need to be winning them. Birmingham are still beating Stoke, which is very, very helpful to us. I don't know what West Brom are doing. I haven't really paid attention to what West Brom are doing at all in any of this fight. So they could be just slowly climbing up the table, just doing their business. Nothing's happened in this second half, has it? I've just been chatting away. Absolute waffle. Rob Beale's going to come on because he's the only striker we've really got on the subs bench now. I'm also going to take off Offenborough for Warrington, which is probably not a good idea. And then we're going to do Hamilton as well for Nissen and swap you two round. Maybe not. We'll put you back the other way. Final 5 minutes. A 1-0 win is good. It's a win. At the end of the day, it's a win. But it's not been the most comfortable win, has it? Not a lot's gone on. Not a lot of shots have taken place. We've got the goal. And it was big, bad Basil Tuma with that goal as well. That's a massive 3 points. Underwhelming game, underwhelming performance, but a massive 3 points. Look at that defensive performance. Basil Tuma was on loan at Blackpool earlier on this season in League One. Played 12 times. Comes back to Reading, much like last season as well. Went on loan in League 2, came back, played 4, gets a goal and an assist. Basil Tuma, he's rubbish. He's really not very good, is he? But he just does the business. I might give him a new contract. I feel like he's earned it. Squad player? Sure. You'll probably get loaned out again, mate, next year. But, let's give you a new deal. You might be playing in the Premier League. One thing that we did not mention whilst that was going on, we were quite underwhelming, but so were Wolves. Wolves drew 0-0 with Ipswich. Where are Ipswich? Are they up in the top end? They're not. They're mid-table. Bang smack in the middle of the table, which means if we beat Wolves, we will go top of the table on goal difference. We could end this episode top of the championship somehow. Good news for the Wolves game is we are full strength, and also good news, we are at home. I don't know how good we are at home compared to away, but I feel like being at home always seems to give you a little bit more of an advantage. So it's going to be Boyce Clark in goal, Norton Cuffy, Mepham, Ferraretti and Guinness Walker. I say we're at full strength. Courtney House is injured, so Ferraretti is going to get a start today. Offenborough and Hamilton, Banks and Taylor Hart, Ings and Delap. We are as good as we can possibly get, I think. Basil Tuma is on the subs bench after signing his new contract as well. So we need to win, and if we win, we'll go top of the table on goal difference. Wolves, obviously, in this save, have only just been relegated from the Premier League last season, so they have a Premier League standard squad. They are a very, very good team still. I mean, just look at some of the names on there. You can tell that they're a good side. I mean, they've still got their Portuguese core as well, which is annoying because they're obviously very good. They've got Luis, Guedes, Neto, Cunha. They've got Jose Sarr in goal as well. And Liam Delap's injured immediately. What has gone on? Right, Mansouri, buddy. I need a performance. I need a big performance from you. That could kill our season. If that's a bad injury, that could absolutely destroy our season. I am so genuinely nervous right now. That Delap injury is more concerning than what's happening in this match. Sheffield United are losing to Middlesbrough. They've just dropped out of this title race altogether in the last couple of matches, which is good. There's one less team to worry about. It's a free kick for Wolves. Doyle kicks it straight into Offerba, but keeps hold of it. Guedes with loads of space into the bottom corner, and Guedes makes it 1-0 to Wolves. This is not what we want, because not only will this extend Wolves' lead over us, but it will also mean we'll probably drop out of the top two, because we're still very close to the teams around us. We're still very, very close. West Brom, Burnley, Stoke, Sunderland, Sheffield United, Coventry can all kind of catch up with us. Cerati with a free kick to Doyle. Now Gray, loads of space to run into. Guedes on that right-hand side. Guinness Walker can easily intercept for us. Good. Ferraresi, the Venezuelan. Down on the left-hand side is Taylor Hart. Now Mansouri, the Algerian. I need a performance from you, buddy. If ever I need a performance from Mansouri, it's today. Mika Hamilton's control is horrendous. And Norton Cuffy mops up the pieces, though. Through ball, please. Through ball. Not where we wanted it to go. Taylor Hart plays it across to Norton Cuffy. Now Scott Banks. Norton Cuffy again goes for a long-range effort. What is going on? Why was that the thing that we did? From all of that situation, we went for a long-range shot from our right back that hit the crossbar. We are certainly not out of this game. Certainly not out of it. There's 3 minutes of injury time to play. 2 of them have gone by already. Doyle, ball forward, finds Rafael Luis. On the ground is easily intercepted. Norton Cuffy down the right-hand side, playing very well at the moment on a 7.0. Scotty Banks to Mika Hamilton. Mansouri's gone down, and that's a penalty. That is exactly what we need to happen. Number 9, Danny Ings steps up to take it. Is this going to be goal number 10 of the season, potentially? Might be goal number 8, to be honest. Ings steps up and Jose Sarr saves it. It's not our day, everybody. It is not our day. We do obviously get a corner. Norton Cuffy goes over to take it. We are in injury time. Ferraresi's there, doesn't get on the end of it. And that is surely going to end the first half. It does end the first half. It should be 1-1. Danny Ings really should have scored that. It's a penalty. I mean, you should always score penalties. Danny buddy, keep going. You've got the ability to make the difference, because I don't have any other subs to really make. Mansouri's on a 6.4 as well for some reason. He's not playing very well. Cunha with a free kick after 1 minute of the second half. It's on target. Boyce Clark palms off for a corner. Neto's corner comes in. Mepham gets up and clears it well, but it's not gone far enough. Back to Neto from Guedes. Guedes gets it back from Neto as well. We're now chasing, putting some pressure on him, which is good. Plays it back to Wan-Bissaka. Highlight ends. Norton Cuffy with a free kick. It's a good game. It's a good game right now. It's very end to end, which is arguably not good for me, but it's good for just entertainment value, I guess. Jose Sarr in goal. Plays it across to Cerati. Now Max Kilman, big lump upfield from the centre-back. We need to get it forward. Mepham does so. Banks' control is not the best. And now Rafael Luis passes it to Norton Cuffy. Norton Cuffy's just always in the right place at the right time at the moment, which is good. Mepham to Hamilton. First time kick upfield was a terrible idea. What possessed you to do that? Like, there was nobody near you, and you just went, I'm just going to kick it straight upfield. Head height to Danny Ings, who's about 5'9" at best. Mepham has the ball for us. Norton Cuffy wants it, or we've gone down the line to a Wolves player. Our passing is awful at the moment. Neto to Luis, it's a penalty, and sod's law, this is going in. The commentary did just say this didn't look like a foul, but it's been given, so doesn't really matter what it looked like. It is Cunha stepping up against Boyce Clark. Come on, buddy. Boyce Clark goes the right way, but it's in the bottom corner, and that is potentially not a good sign. I say potentially, that is definitely not a good sign. It's 2-0 to Wolves. I think this match could not have gone any worse. An injury to Delap, Danny Ings missing a penalty, everyone playing pretty poorly, apart from Norton Cuffy, who's the only person on our team who's decided to actually show up today. Wolves are they're just passing it around, having a lovely time. Our possession, everything we're doing is just not very good. It's a ball forward from Wolves. I feel like this is going to be 3 or 4-0 as well. Neto on that left-hand side. If they get a third, it is game over. Cross comes in. Mepham's clearance is absolutely appalling. And I feel like we're giving away another penalty any second now. Guedes back to Doyle. Now Bellegarde goes for goal. It's a good effort. Bellegarde, sorry. Goes for goal. It's a good effort, but it's gone wide. Danny Ings needs to come off. And I don't know who we bring on. Basil. Big bad Basil up front. I can't believe we're doing that. Basil Tumer's coming on. Scott Banks is coming off. We've got no options. I do not know what is going on with this performance, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players who have got a 6.3 or less. What has happened? I'm going to take Offerborough off as well. Kozlovs is going to come on. He's actually been out suspended because he got a red card against Sunderland, I think, for violent conduct. We're going to have to do Scott Banks as well for Rob Beale, who arguably isn't a winger. Arguably he's not even a very good footballer, is he? But on he comes. It's still not over. It is definitely not over. However, I've just seen West Brom aren't playing. And if West Brom win their game in hand, they will go joint on points with us on 71 points, which is not what we want. We've got the superior goal difference because Liam Delap is an absolute machine scoring goals. But if he's out for the rest of the season, which is a possibility, we're not getting any more goals from Liam Delap. Basil Tumer collects it. It's into Mansouri. And Mansouri is there, gets his 9th goal of the season. There is still time. An equaliser would be great. Basil Tumer, once again, proving to me that why isn't he the first name on the team sheet every single week? Final 5 minutes plus injury time. Nothing is going on. A 2-1 defeat is not good. Any defeat is not good. A 7-0 defeat is not good. A 1-0 defeat is not good. We are 25 seconds left of the match. Mepham to Kozlovs. Ball forward, finds Beale. Now Mansouri just about finds Norton Cuffy. Beale's on the right. The youngster, can he get his cross away? He does. It's Basil Tumer in the middle. Keeps it alive. Back to Norton Cuffy. Beale's there. And Robbie Beale. Robbie Beale has just scored a goal in the 95th minute. What has happened? What is it? He's literally out of contract in the summer. He's just on the bench to make up the numbers. He's just bloody scored the equaliser. What has gone on there? Robbie Beale. I feel like you're getting a contract, mate. I don't know if you're any good potential-wise, but oh my word, the last kick of the game. The last kick of the game. Rob Beale gets us a valuable, massive, massive point against Wolves. That is huge. And now I'm really pissed off with Danny Ings for missing that penalty, because that would have meant we won the game. Now the worry is, what is that piece of news? Is it bad? 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. He'll be back before the end of the season, but he is going to miss. He's going to miss Coventry, he's going to miss Millwall, and he might be back for Luton. So he's only going to miss maybe 2 matches, 3 at most. Oh my word, Rob Beale. Out of that, 5 points from those 3 games sounds not very good. But that is actually a cracking set of results. Rob Beale, I'm doing it, mate. I'm giving you a new contract. I'm not even triggering the extension, I'm just giving you a new deal. What do you want? £1,000 a week? We'll do it. £2,000 a week. We'll also do that, sure. So, with this being the league table after 39 games, on the 27th of March in this game, Wolves will be playing their game in hand against Cardiff, which that is a big game, although because Cardiff are currently rock bottom of the table, I feel like Wolves are going to be clear of us towards the end of the season. So, I don't think the title is going to happen, but it's still a possibility. Next episode, we are going to come back for about Middlesbrough, I think. So we're going to do Coventry off camera, Millwall off camera, and Luton most likely off camera, depending on what happens in that window. And then we've got 4 games left of the season to work out exactly where we're going to finish. And I really want it to be second in the table. I don't want to go through the playoffs, but I'm genuinely not confident. I'm really not confident. And can we just give a big shout out to Basil Tumer? He's just a legend. He's just a legend of this save. Not football, not Reading, just this save in particular. I feel like anyone else playing Reading probably never played Basil Tumer. I've managed to get 13 goals out of him in 54 appearances and some really important goals and assists as well. That's going to do it for this one. I'll see you next time. We have just 4 games left of the season with our Reading side. We are 2 points off of the top of the table. We are, 6-7 points off of 3rd place. Automatic promotion will take place if we win 2 matches. I believe that's the maths. If we win twice, we'll be promoted to the Premier League. But we've kind of got bigger things on our minds now because we could win the league. And I say that because Wolves have a very difficult run to the end of the season. They have Sheffield United on Friday night, which is why we are back now, because they play that before we play our match. They've got Watford, who are 20th. They then have Derby, who are 5th, and Sunderland, who are 4th. They can definitely drop points there. For us, however, we have 3 arguably much easier games with Middlesbrough in 20th, Charlton in 21st, Birmingham in 13th, and then we finish with Derby in 5th place. I'm hoping by the time we get to the Derby game, everything's kind of all signed and sealed, and we don't need to worry. So, without further ado, let's press forward to see what happens in the Wolves-Sheffield United game. If Sheffield United win that, that massively changes the complexion of this episode. Oh my word. I mean, it's not perfect. It is not perfect by any means. However, our goal difference is so superior to Wolves'. If we win our next game, we will go top of the table. If we win our next game, we'll go top of the table. That's big. That is massive. The starting lineup then for the Middlesbrough game at home will be Boyce Clark in goal. Chemadu as our right back with Mepham House and Wilson Esbrand in defence. We're not going to do Chemadu purely because I'm going to struggle to say his name. So Norton Cuffy is going to be our right back, and in fact our left back should be Guinness Walker. I kind of said to him I'm going to play him more, and we need to stick with that. Offenborough and Hamilton in midfield. Basil Tuma gets a start on the right with Taylor Hart on the left. Mansouri and Liam Delap leading the lines. Delap is only going to get about 45 minutes in this because he's just come back from another injury, so we don't really want to be playing him too much. So as I've just mentioned, our run-in actually isn't too bad. We've got 3 very, very winnable games, arguably 2 that we should definitely win. There should be no questions about that. And then we should be able to beat Birmingham in the middle of the table. And then it should come down to the Derby game. I'm hoping by the time we get there, it's all finished. Torre with a throw for Middlesbrough. It's fallen for Jones. Just ran into a bit of space. Boyce Clark easily holds on to that. It wasn't even on target anyway. Not really sure why that was considered to be a highlight, but there we are. Norton Cuffy's corner comes in. Courtney House is at the front post. Can't quite get on the end of it. Basil Tuma collects it. The Ugandan international cuts inside, goes for a long-range effort, blasts it over the bar. Imagine if Basil Tuma scores a goal that wins us the league. Guinness Walker's throw now. He's got an option in front of him, which is Mika Hamilton. Walker again crosses the ball in towards Basil at the back post. And big bad Basil's there. Liam Delap mops up the pieces. Goal number 41 of the season. That's his 38th league goal, I believe. He's been ridiculous. For a free transfer, he's been absolutely ridiculous for me. And once again, Basil Tuma with an assist. He comes in big. He comes in big whenever we need him. Since the goal, nothing's really happened until now. Guinness Walker's ball down the line towards Hamilton doesn't get anywhere near him. Gets another chance, though. It's deflected. Mansouri's not going to get there either. We need to get there first, and we do through Courtney House. Back to Offenborough. Goes for a little wander all the way back to our goalkeeper, Boyce Clark, who is miles outside of his area. I'm concerned we're going to lose this, and they're going to score a goal from the halfway line. Mepham to Courtney House. Not really sure what this highlight is possibly going to turn into. Hamilton dinks it over, finds Taylor Hart on the left. In the middle, back to Mika Hamilton, the captain. Goes for a little run on the ground. He could have played it through to Delap instead. Finds Taylor Hart. Cross comes in. Liam Delap is there. His 42nd goal of the season. I feel like our goal difference is just too superior now anyway, that no one's really going to catch it. But if we can keep extending that, and if Liam Delap can keep getting $5,000 every goal that he scores, sure, mate, you are going to be absolutely loaded. You're, I think, our second highest earner in the club, and you're probably earning way more than everyone else purely just for the amount of goals you score. Not a lot's gone on in the second half, so we are going to do our change for Liam Delap coming off, which he's probably going to get annoyed with because he's on a hat-trick, but he shouldn't play any more than 75 minutes, so we're not going to play him any more than 75 minutes. Looking at fitness, everyone else seems to be okay. Maybe Mika Hamilton as well can come off for Kozlov's. If this episode is going to have 4 matches in it, which it may well do, it's kind of quite good that not a huge amount of highlights have taken place in this one. Force has the ball for Middlesbrough, crosses it in towards Fry in the middle. He's hit the underside of the bar, and Latte Lath has kicked it off for a goal kick. Sure. We've got an injury to Basil Tuma, which means Rob Beale is going to come on, the hero from, I think, last episode against Wolves, where he scored the last-minute equaliser. We're also going to do Kiddo Taylor Hart coming off for Pena. One more change to do, and we've only really got defensive options on the subs bench. Let's do Chuamedi, sure. Definitely not his name either, is it? Chemadu? Might be Chemadu. That's what we're going to go with. Mepham has the ball for us, plays it across to Courtney House. 7 minutes of normal time to play plus any injury time. If we can get a third, that'll be absolutely magical. Pena collects it from Danny Ings, and Pena's in on goal. He's at the post. Danny Ings gets a chance as well. Kicks it straight into, I think, Paddy McNair. Not quite finished yet. Middlesbrough going for the long throw technique. Mepham easily clears it, and now Mansouri with acres of space. A counter-attack is possibly on. Kozlov's, he's got Pena to his left, does use the Angolan. On the ground to Danny Ings. First touch is pretty good. Second touch is even better. Danny Ings, goal number 8 of the season. 3-0 against Middlesbrough. 3 more points on the board, and we are top of the championship. Also, he's not Angolan, he's definitely Colombian. Not only are we top of the championship, but that was a very good performance. Absolutely everybody, bar 2 players, getting a green, and Hamilton arguably wasn't bad. Norton Cuffy was our worst performer by a fair distance. Match number 2 then, away from home against Charlton. It is going to be essentially the same starting 11 with a couple of little changes that we've needed to make, which is basically Taylor Hart and Pena will be our wingers, with Pena on the left, Taylor Hart on the right, because Basil Juma obviously picked up an injury in the last match. Danny Ings and Liam Delap will be leading the lines for this one. Watford are playing Wolves at home, so if Watford can do us a favour and win that match, that would be very, very helpful. So Charlton are down the wrong end of the table, so this should be a very winnable game for us, which arguably every match between now and the end of the season are games that we should be able to win because we are so good at the moment. Charlton do have the ball out after 5 minutes. Dawley lose it out to Courtney House, and we've just passed it straight back to Mubama. We're 1-0 down against Charlton. This isn't how it's supposed to go, guys. Norton Cuffy with a throw for us in a bad place. It's Mubama as well once again, and we are 2-0 down after not even 10 minutes. What is going on? Charlton are coming forward again on the right-hand side. Cross comes in. Boyce Clark holds on to that one. So, I mean, this is not the start that we needed. Are we going to need Rob Beale to come off the subs bench and score a late equaliser again? Boyce Clark is going for a wander for a while around his penalty area. Kicks it eventually upfield. Danny Ings doesn't win the head. And now Charlton can come forward again. Edu's ball over towards Campbell on the left. Intercepted by Mepham, though. Campbell's going to collect it again on the halfway line. 11 minutes on the clock and we're 2-0 down, and we are looking bad at the moment. It's Mabama once again cuts inside, and he should have made it 3. I don't do this often. I do not do this often, but we're going to berate the team. Going to give him a shout. Guinness Walker's corner comes in. It's cleared. Not far enough. Danny Ings has gone for a bicycle kick from there. What are you doing? You are 36 years old. I feel like I've just injured my leg watching that, let alone actually trying to do it. Guinness Walker with another corner for us. Hits the first man, not a very good corner. Hamilton lets it trickle off for a throw. Well, judging by all the smiley faces down the bottom, me shouting at the team kind of worked for about 10 minutes and then stopped working. Wolves are back to the top of the table because obviously they are currently picking up a solitary point against Watford, which it's not good, is it? This is not a good performance at all. Charlton with another chance, possibly with 5 minutes of the first half to play. Pena heads forward towards Ings. Back to House now, offer it all the way back to the goalkeeper, Boyce Clark, who he's on a 6'5". I'm not sure he should be on a 6'5". Norton Cuffy on the right, down the line to Kiddo Taylor Hart, playing on the opposite flank to what he normally does. But he's good enough to do it, so I'm quite happy with it. Cross comes in to nobody gambling whatsoever. Mika Hamilton, Pena's gone for a run, the Colombian. Can he get his cross away? He can't. Plays it back to Hamilton. He's managed to cross it. Taylor Hart is there. He's hit the post. We're never going to score. We're never going to score. It was easier to score and he hit the post. Wolves are also 2-0 up against Watford, so they jump back to the top of the table on merit with a 3-point gap. Not what we wanted at all. We've been arguably the better side. You've been terrible so far. Straight into the second half. Nothing from Delap. Nothing really from Pena. Offenbach's struggling. Courtney House is struggling as well. Free kick comes in from Charlton. Delap needs to try and get there first and isn't going to manage it. We are 2.5 minutes into the second half. A third goal will basically put this match to bed. Unless that third goal comes for us, which, judging by all the highlights, it's not going to, is it? I think we've had like 2 shots and one of them was Danny Ings going for an overhead kick. It is on the right-hand side for Charlton into the penalty area. Guinness Walker can clear from the save. Taylor Hart flicks his head on to Delap. Now Danny Ings on the right-hand side. The ageing striker. This might be his last season playing professional football. Taylor Hart collects it. Back to Norton Cuffy. Down the line again to Taylor Hart. Something's coming from this. I can sense it. Liam Delap gets on the end of it on the volley. And Liam Delap with his 43rd goal of the season. His 40th league goal as well. We are back into this game, and that was a cracking goal. Let's get a second. Let's just go straight in. Make it 2-2 early on in the second half. Delap is there. He's not going to get it, though. Person comes out, holds on. So what is this highlight going to be? The Charlton keeper with it in his hands. Goes for a little wander. 54 minutes on the clock so far. Kick over the halfway line. Courtney House heads down. Straight to Jamie Shackleton, though. Campbell on the left-hand side. We are playing badly. I don't know whether it's their formation that seems to be just outdoing us at the moment. Jamie Donnelly's headed effort goes over the bar. Charlton are still looking good, aren't they? They're literally playing a 4-4-2, and they're getting so much more space than we are. I don't get it. Slater with a throw, 62nd minute. Still Charlton coming forward. They don't need another goal. Obviously, they'd like another goal, because then we'd need to score 2 more. Boyce Clark has it in his hands. We need to get this equaliser. A draw is better than a defeat, which is obvious, but still, a draw is better than a defeat. We've not managed to get there first, and now Mabama is in on goal once again. Courtney House can somehow block it, but it's fallen for Jamie Shackleton, and it's 3-1. The 2-goal advantage is restored. We have not turned up defensively. Look at those numbers. Also, Offenborough playing badly, so Kozlovs is going to come on as the the ball in the midfielder. Pena's coming off for Onyedinma, a rare appearance for Onyedinma this season. Courtney House is coming off for Nissen, and we're going to do Norton Cuffy off for Chemediu. And do we do all 5 subs at 60 minutes? I mean, we've got a knock. We'll do it. Wilson Esbrand's coming on as well. 5 subs in 63 minutes. We need to turn something around, and I feel like it's too little too late. Throw in a good position for Charlton once again. Edvarson plays it back to the throw taker. Notice I'm avoiding saying his name because it's complicated and confusing me. Edu gets a bit of space. The right back with some space for himself now. Shackleton finds Edvarson. Cross comes in. Chemediu clears it not very well. Nissen clears it. Onyedinma. All of the subs combining in this highlight for us. And we still don't have the ball outside of the final third. On the right-hand side again for Charlton. Edvarson's cross comes in. We need to get there first. Kozlovs does get there first. Campbell's going to keep it alive though. Now Edu, number 8. Is he going to get that cross away? On the ground, plays it to Campbell, and Tyrese Campbell makes it 4-1. What has happened here? The only thing I can think of is Charlton are in a relegation scrap, and they really want to win this game, because a win here means they are basically not getting relegated. So maybe that's what they're going for. Chemediu to Taylor Hart, 78th minute. Kozlovs collects it. We've got Hamilton in the middle. Doesn't use him. Instead goes for a long-range effort himself. Almost finds the top corner. Would have been a good goal. Not really what you need when you're 4-1 down, though. Campbell with a corner for Charlton. I feel like it's going to be 5, isn't it? Ness is there. Mabama plays it back to Edvarson. Now Edu on the half volley. It's gone just wide. It could have been 5. Wolves are also now 3-0 up against Watford, which means that match is dead in the water, isn't it? 10 goal difference at the moment between us. Ings' cross comes in. It's an awful cross, and none of our players are chasing it down. Absolutely none of our players. Now Eden has the ball. He's got no legs, has he? He can't run anywhere, apparently. Leeburn loses out to Wilson Esbrand and then just gets the ball straight back. Goes for goal. Not a very good effort. Goes well wide. But this is a poor performance for a team chasing the title. This is awful. 7 minutes of injury time has just flown by. I think there was actually an injury for Tyrese Campbell, which is why there was 7 minutes of injury time. The full-time whistle goes, and Thrash Arms, unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. If we won that, we would have been promoted as well. Reading lose top spot. Onyedinma's injured again. I mean, the reason why we've not seen a huge amount of Onyedinma, by the way, is because he's constantly injured. So, I mean, what has happened to you, mate? You've just fallen apart. Also, Guinness Walker's out injured as well. I've slammed the team. I think Wolves did win 3-0 in the end. Yes, they did. So, 2 more matches to play in this episode. We have confirmed playoffs, but we want automatic promotion. We really need to win the next game. Right, we go again then. Birmingham City in the league this time around. I believe Wolves are playing Derby, who are currently 3rd place in the table. So if there is ever a time to Wolves to slip up, now is that time. And remember, we also have to play Derby as our final game of the season. So even if Wolves do slip up, we might then slip up against Derby. It is going to be Boyce Clark in goal, Norton Cuffy, Mepham, House and Wilson Esbrand in defence. Midfield is Kozlovs and Hamilton. We've dropped Offenborough because he's been pretty poor the last few games. Beale is getting a start on the right-hand side with Taylor Hart on the left. Ings and Delap leading the lines. We're not going to do Ings, we're going to do Mansouri leading the line because he scores more goals and arguably he's a better player now. 2 things that we really need from this match. Number 1, first of all, is a win. And number 2 is to play so much better than what we did in the last match, because the last match was absolutely awful. Wolves are playing Derby, but they are at Molineux, so Wolves kind of have the home field advantage at the moment. Wilson Esbrand to Hamilton on the ground, doesn't find Kozlovs, but instead we found a penalty. That'll do, we'll have that. It's going to be Liam Delap stepping up to take it for goal number 44, potentially, of the season. Last time we had a penalty on camera, Danny Ings absolutely ballsed it up. Liam Delap does not balls this one up, though. We take the lead. Goal number 44 of the season. We take the lead against Birmingham, and I think we're just going to be 1 point behind Wolves at the moment. We do need to keep an eye on what is going on at Molineux, because if Wolves lose, it gets very exciting all of a sudden. Beale collects the ball, plays it back to Kozlovs. I thought he almost won another penalty then. Hamilton collects it, invites Wilson Esbrand forward on the left. 4 at least in the box. Beale is one of them. Beale hits the inside of the post. It rolls across the line and goes off for a corner. Norton Cuffy steps up to take the corner on the left. 13th minute. Cross comes in. Mepham's at the back post. Powerful header from the former Bournemouth man, but it goes just wide. Norton Cuffy with a throw finds Beale. Back to Norton Cuffy. Loses out. And now Burgess for Birmingham. On the ground to Sander Berg. Now Kouame back to Matt Target by the looks of it, playing for Birmingham. That's a good signing. I actually looked at trying to bring him in as well. Sander Berg can go for a little wander through the centre circle, off towards the right-hand side. Being closed down though. Laird, ball in towards the middle. Goalkeeper comes out, which is a risky thing, but gets there first. And now a counter-attack might be on. It could have been on until we passed it straight to Burgess. Now Minty. Is that his name, Minty? Surely Minty's not his name. It's a good save from Boyce Clark. We are going to see the resulting corner though. We are still only 18.5 minutes in. Scott Twine takes the corner towards Kouame at the back post. Header clear though, I think by Norton Cuffy it was. Minter collects it. Ball forward. Beale intercepts though. That's what we like to see. Mansouri's just smashed it upfield to nobody apparently. Half an hour played. We are 1-0 up. Wolves Derby still 0-0, which actually doesn't sound bad, but a 0-0 draw and a defeat in their final game would be very, very helpful for us. It's still 0-0 as we approach half-time as well. I hate the fact that this keeps scrolling. I hate the fact that it keeps moving. We are 2 minutes of injury time to play. Half-time whistle goes. So, we have our lead, which is what we want. And it looks like Derby and Wolves are still 0-0. Come on, Derby. You need a win. I mean, arguably, having a win now doesn't mean anything. This, by the way, I completely kind of forgot. If we win this, we are promoted. This is a huge match. This is way bigger than I've kind of thought actually it would be, because I'm too focused on what Wolves are doing. We've passed it straight to one of their players, which is not ideal. Now Minty's going to go for a run towards the left-hand side. 50th minute on the clock. Cross comes in. Ball goes into the back of the Enzo Sternal makes it 1-1. Now, we could get in a horrible situation where we lose this, Derby win their match, and we have then not guaranteed ourselves automatic promotion, but also Wolves haven't guaranteed themselves winning the league either. And we could finish anywhere between third and first. Obviously, I don't want that to happen. Kiddo Taylor Hart's on a 6.2. I mean, get off the pitch. What are you doing? I have no idea what you're doing to get that low score. But there we are. We are going to do another change as well. Hamilton's coming off for Offenborough. Swap you two round. For some reason, the Wolves Derby scores disappeared. It looks like Wolves are taking the lead. They have a 70th minute penalty, which means if everything stays this way, we might still technically be... We should be promoted, right? We should be promoted even if everything stays this way, but we can't finish any higher than second place, which is fine. Which is honestly perfectly fine. I'll just happily go into the Premier League. Beale doesn't manage to find Offenborough, and now Dembele can play the ball forward. It is Sternal down the left-hand side for Birmingham. The reason why I think we're going to be promoted is because of the Wolves-Derby game, basically. Wolves can decide, do we want to get Reading promoted, or, oh my word, what has happened there? Chris Mepham scored an own goal. We're going to lose against Birmingham, but we're still going to get promoted, even if we lose. Unless Derby equalise? I mean, I'm trying to work out the maths here. But if we lose this, I think we're still promoted. But this is 2 defeats in a row, which is not good. Ball forward for Reading. Left-hand side is Dembele. We've got 4 minutes of injury time to play. I'd love just a draw. Just give us a draw now. Matt Target on the left-hand side for Birmingham. Crosses it in. Joel Perreault's there. He's hit the bar. Mepham can clear it upfield. Mansouri collects it. We've got Beale going for a run. Are we actually going to get any form of highlight out of this? Beale's given up running. He gave up running there for some reason. Wolves are 2-0 up as well against Derby. So, the title dream is over. But, I'm pretty sure we're promoted. I'm almost certain we are promoted. We're promoted. Reading celebrate promotion. So we are promoted to the Premier League in Season 4. It's kind of disappointing in a way, because we could have actually gone up as champions, but we are going to go up in second place. We've got one more game to play against Derby, which means absolutely nothing. So we are going to see basically what happens the other side of the Derby game, because I'm not going to waste your time showing a match that means literally nothing. But before we get there, we have our transfer budgets for next season, which is just under £40 million. Now, the question is, I would love to see some comments here. What do we strengthen? Honestly, what do we strengthen? Because this is our best 11 on paper. And yes, arguably Danny Ings, we need a new striker to partner Liam Delap on the up front, basically, as a pressing forward, because Delap should be there. We need a pressing forward. But Mansouri has potential. We know he's going to be good, so we're going to try and get him some more game time. We've got Scott Banks on the right-hand side who keeps getting injured. Maybe we need to look at replacing Banks and Taylor Hart. Possibly that's where we go. Defensively, I'm quite happy with Mepham, House and Boyce Clark. That's a good little triangle there. Maybe another central midfielder. But 40 million isn't a lot, is it? 40 million really isn't a lot of money. And we're obviously going to try and shift on some players as well. But we're not going to be getting millions of pounds for players. unless it's Liam Delap, and if we sell Liam Delap, we're getting relegated in Season 5. So the end of the season for us was not very good at all. We actually drew the final game of the season against Derby, but it obviously did not matter. We picked up injuries from Mepham, Mansouri and Delap in that match as well. We kind of just crumbled. From this point onwards, we just absolutely crumbled. But obviously the main thing is we have gone up in second place. Stoke finishing third, Derby fourth, West Brom fifth, Burnley in sixth. Who's coming down from the Premier League? No one, technically, at the moment. It is looking likely it's going to be Leicester, Bournemouth, Fulham, maybe Everton, maybe Forest, maybe Norwich. Those are the 6 teams that could potentially be dropping down. Everton would be an interesting one. I mean, obviously they've come down once already, so I don't know how much they've really strengthened going back up. That's going to do it for this season, but I do just want to show Liam Delap, who at 24 years of age has played 43 league games, scoring 41 goals. He has pretty much doubled his XG. His XG is just under 27 goals, scoring 41. Without Liam Delap, we would not have been anywhere near being promoted. Top goal scorer by a ridiculous amount. What is that? 16 goals more than Franco Sosa. Top average rating on 7.6. Most man of the matches with 14. Boyce Clark actually getting 18 clean sheets as well. So defensively has really helped us out this season, making sure that we don't concede a huge amount of goals. 11 defeats is a lot of defeats, but we didn't lose to anyone really kind of important. We managed to draw or beat the teams that are sort of in and around us, which is always good. I mean, West Brom we lost to twice, but still, we managed to do decent enough jobs against Wolves. 2 draws against Wolves. That's massive. That is really big. That is going to do it then for Season 4. Stay tuned for Season 5, which will be the final season with Reading, as surely our one objective is don't get relegated. That has to be our only objective with Reading in Season 5. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll be back with the final season of Reading, and hopefully Liam Delap can score 40 goals in the Premier League and get in the England squad.